Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to DG360. You're watching this highlight on YouTube, and if you're here live, thank you so very much. We want to talk a little bit about ED, and we're talking about erectile dysfunction. No. We're talking about Elite Dangerous. And an effigy. The reason why I switched over from Elite Dangerous to Star Citizen was, in fact, that there was absolutely all elite and no danger in Elite Dangerous, and it's because the PvP is broken. It's for a lot of different reasons. Now, I got a message here from one of our members, Kalrati, of what he saw in the official subreddit of Elite Dangerous's forum areas. And there was a discussion being had about how you can be the safest person in the world in Elite Dangerous. Not, the fact that they have a solo mode in Elite Dangerous and cater to people that don't want to involve themselves in an MMO style gameplay or be involved with anybody at all is a little bit strange, but they in fact do that in Elite Dangerous, and they have their own solo mode. But now we're going to take it a step further, and I would not be aware of this situation if it was not for Kalrati, and I really want to read this after I put my own opinions on what the situation is. Let me explain what's happening here. Not only do they have a solo mode to get away from the dangerous and be all elite, and if that's your play style, I'm not trying to poop on it, okay? I can understand you want to play a game and not be involved in any interaction with human beings, but it's a little strange that it's an online game and they have a solo mode for you to do that. Okay, whatever. If that's your play style, I'm not going to poo-poo it. I'm not going to shit on it. I don't agree with it. That's your own prerogative. But now we're taking it one step further. Commander Crag is replying to somebody who's asking about how to stop being ganked or he's having an issue with people who are PvPing in the game. I don't know. Could be over the top griefing. If that's the case, okay. All right. But I think this is just random kind of PvPing and people fucking blowing up spaceships. It's a spaceship game. You're fucking flying a space sim. You blow up in the game. That you're going to have to deal with that. That's hence the dangerous, hence, Elite Dangerous, hence the danger. But no. Do not go solo, says Commander Craig. Instead, go to your history tab of your comms panel in the upper left corner. Find that player that shot you down in the list of the contacts. Click on their name and then set them to block player. This will result in the game never instancing the two of you together ever again. If everyone who ganked did this, eventually all the gankers would be left to instance with one another. They could never prey upon defenseless new players ever again. Oh, defenseless. Oh, they're so defenseless. They don't know anything. They need to stay safe forever. Where's the fucking Smurf song at? So help contribute to the furtherance of this goal by following the steps above. So this guy's literally giving steps for people to go pro, noob, scared, bullshit, woke, like completely stay away from people mode. So now here's your response. This is ultimate Care Bear to the ultimate 10th degree. Alien says, so what I'm hearing is I should go into those systems in the bait ship. This is crazy. This is taking it to a whole nother level. When I read this shit, I'm like, what is going on here? Is there no honor? Is there no sense of playing a video game anymore to just run away from shit now? It's so crazy. So what I'm hearing is, should I go into those systems in a bait ship and try to get ganked as much as possible and block them? So they're literally finding, okay, they're going out in a bait ship to get blown up, to get the person's name, and then to block them so that they can never see them again in the game. Elite Dangerous, ladies and gentlemen, has become no dangerous. I'm not going to even call it erectile dysfunction anymore, because it's more than that. It's more than erectile dysfunction at this point. It is no penis. It is there is no dangerous now. They've officially designed the game. Frontier Development has officially designed the game to completely cancel out all danger. It is absolutely no dangerous now. This video will be called Elite Dangerous changes its name to No Dangerous. Maybe Strat, and that's what I'm trying to say. So Strat says, DG, I get what you're saying, but wasn't ED originally meant to be more a solo experience? I don't really see a problem here if people don't want to challenge. And that was the argument, Stratabrick, that I think brought about the solo game mode, right? So like, I would agree with you if in fact that I was like, okay, if that's the case and we're going with that thesis that Strat says, then there is a solo mode. But this is actively being the biggest pussy that you can. Like what I'm seeing here is the activation mode of being the biggest giant pussy in the world, Strat. Like it's like evade dangers. Thank you, Moon. Yes. So like, listen, like I said, I am not trying to poo-poo on people that don't want any human interaction. Okay. I don't think that is really, as the game progressed, Stratobrick, like I think that initially, like that might have been the mission statement from moons and moons and moons ago, Strat. But I think as the game became much more of an online experience where you played with other people, I would imagine or hope that there wanted to be some type of at least player interaction. If not player versus player, at least player interaction. You know what I mean? And so, like, this is just insane. Noob says, that's actually what I saw as a recommendation once. Use a small ship with a low rebuy and make yourself look weak. Go into those systems and block everyone that kills you. Or even wanted as that may be assigned. Then go back to your normal ship and have a better time. And so, I want to read now what Karate put here. And he sent me this wall text because obviously he's as probably upset as I am. In fact, it looks more so, but I love Kalrati. Good dude, good member of our community. And he says, sorry for the long message, but I figured I should send this to you. I wanted to send this as a PM for whenever you have the time to read it. I think he means private message or DM, direct message. It's a subtle thing, but it's part of a larger issue that affects the game's long-term development, life, and its community, as well as other communities that interact with those that come from them. This is a very well put together message, by the way. This is the reason I'm talking about it today. Friend of mine sent me this, and while I didn't want to start off this new year with something like this, I find it subtly problematic. You see, my mother's a psychiatric social worker, counseling psychologist, and my sister's doing her PhD in sociology. I'm an engineer, so I'm not all into it, but I'm still within the strong environment of behavioral psychology. And as a gamer, this irks me so much because you see, this is where it starts or continues. One of the things we develop in person or hope to is conflict resolution. And you see, when game designs offer us this shortcut ability to do these things in games, it does not help someone's growth, nor does it help the community. So far, Karate is fucking point on. He is saying things in such a fucking intelligent manner here. He is so fucking right. I totally agree with everything that's being said thus far. Let's continue. Last year, a friend of mine, she doesn't really play video games, told me something along the lines of, I don't really like that video games make people escape their problems rather than solve it. Because I found it very generalized, I gotta admit, how she said it upset me. But I remained chill. But seeing this subtle post in the ED Reddit made me think, damn, is she right? I know that the games and the game communities I'm part of help to distress while also giving that aid in some subtle way to deal with people once the game design is appropriate. Those communities like Star Citizen allow for that kind of proper conflict resolution. We see the efforts of Cloud Imperium Gaming and putting for law and unlawful systems. We see this game design is what he's trying to say that deals with this in a manner where game design comes in and gives you the mechanisms and the gameplay to deal with conflict resolution. Now, see, this is exactly what I've been talking about. This is the fucking exact thing I've been talking about Elite Dangerous and why I call fucking Elite Dangerous erectile dysfunction, because the problem comes from the top. It comes from Frontier Development. It comes from David Braben. This is exactly what the fuck I am talking about here. But you see this shit? He's laughing right now. I love this. I love this fucking message so much. I fucking love you, Karate. This is the best fucking message I've ever gotten. I don't know if Frontier planned this game design to be this way, and they did. They fucking did, by the way. but offering players the power to enact these kind of things to avoid solutions rather than solve them in a way that the game allows without shortcut blocking so easily is a huge issue. If you're making a single player game, sure. Now, to Stratobrick's thesis and to the way Stratobrick's talking, okay, there is a good debate there. That is a very good debate. I don't necessarily think it's a single player game at this point unless you're playing it in solo mode. This is taking it one step above solo mode to me, you understand? So that's my mindset. Let's see. If you're making a single player game, sure, but don't make a multiplayer game with these kinds of things, DG, because what you would find is that persons will more gravitate to enacting these things, and when they go to the other games or other communities that require them to properly solve some kind of conflict in a video game, examples, piracy, or they're being attacked, so they have to time their approach or do something else, then they're 100% unable to solve these issues on their own. This thus creates a toxic environment if said community is borderline toxic and doesn't wean that behavior out of that individual because they start to complain excessively if they're no longer given the powers they have had in a previous game they were so accustomed to. Boom! Boom! Hits so hard, so direct, so correct, Karate. God, that I'm a poet. I'm just saying. I need to have like some type of rap about this shit. We tend to scuff, myself included, at those policies or officials outside of gaming who says and thinks that games make us violent. They're wrong. But you know why they're able to say that? Because of subtle issues like what you're reading in that picture post. Because the game design curdles and nurtures that approach in that person or adolescent, DG. So when gamers are no longer able to easily do this in another game, that rage builds, no longer de-stressing. And this is why it's important to have a psychologist when developing a game. That is fucking crazy. Good. In a good way. This breakdown is crazy good. This is why I absolutely hate seeing, I don't know if you need a psychologist in gaming, but like I feel like now there needs to be a need for one. So Karate's breaking it down where we need gaming psychologists to come in when we're talking about game design, because I would have normally just said no, but now I'm like, hey, yeah, maybe he's got a point here, man. Like, you know what I mean? I think maybe we need gaming psychologists to come in to help developers with different types of game mechanics now, man. It's insane. It's difficult. He says, and this is why I absolutely hate seeing a game designed to be made in this kind of way, because I keep protesting that games do not make players violent, but it's difficult to argue against a game design that curdles the inert behavior someone first tries to avoid, but inadvertently adopts. And also, nothing's wrong if a game has a safe zone compared to this scenario, because it's passive, more generalized thing that applies to everyone that goes into that environment. But granting powers like this to actively allow someone to excessively do it creates a problem that comes from the gap or shortcut method of that little subtle game design. I feel like I should just drop the fucking microphone after this. That is an amazing post. Elite Dangerous has now become No Dangerous. Erectile dysfunction, as we call Elite Dangerous, is now, I'm calling it No Penis. No Penis. NP. So I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. Back to the show, Pepe. I'm just like, that is beautiful. This is one of those times on stream where you have these golden moments of just, you know, you really do have these moments, and this is one of those times. Thanks, Karate, for making that happen.